Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. I want to say real quick, many apologies for not starting the show earlier as I usually do, my usual time. Honestly, we got hit with a snowstorm, and we're still continuing to get hit with a snowstorm. So I've been busy with a bunch of stuff in revolving around that. A lot of snow, y'all. Just snow coming through, y'all. Snow coming through. But anyway, hopefully you guys are all doing well. This one's a short show, but I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about some new developing information revolving around Cheslie Kryst. Of course, there's certain things I can't say, apparently, which I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to tell you guys a little story, which was very funny in my personal opinion, revolving around this particular situation, revolving around this particular story. So, of course, we've got to get into some stuff, but I hope you guys are all warm, staying warm. If you've been hit by the storm, by the snowstorm, hopefully you're staying warm somewhere, wrapping yourself around someone you love, keeping your hearts and your souls and your happiness nice and cozy right now. If you're drinking some cocoa and all of that, hopefully you are doing your thing as well. All right. But anyway, we got to get into these stories. We got to get things moving. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Smash it, destroy it, whatever. Okay. All right. And also, of course, destroy that subscribe button. We are very close to 50,000 subscribers right now, y'all. Like we are seconds away from 50,000 subscribers, and I'm so excited about it. So please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Por favor. Okay? That would really, really mean a lot to me and to the rest of the family. And join in on the fun, because we talk about all kinds of crazy ish on this show. Okay? But anyway, we, of course, got to get into these stories, like I've been saying. There have been some really sad stories that have been percolating, okay, as of recently. And there is more that I'm going to be covering. There's this NFL coach that is literally suing the NFL right now due to racism and all that. And I'm going to be, hopefully I have somebody very special coming on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Fingers crossed if that actually goes down. Regardless, I'm still covering that story, but we will be talking about that on tonight's stream. And tonight's stream won't be as late. It'll be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time or around that time. If the time changes, I will let you know. Trust and believe I will. But yes, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot popping off, especially revolving around this story that we are talking about right here. You see the title down below. So let's get into it, y'all. Oh, man. This one is, as we already know, Miss USA 2019, Cheslie Kryst, leapt to her, I don't even know if I can even say that word, leapt off of a building. All right. A 60-story building. And quick story before we get into the nitty-gritty. Okay. All right. So I got an email from this platform basically saying that the video that I did is now age restricted. The one that I did about Cheslie Kryst is now age restricted. So of course it means that anybody who has a membership or has their own, has signed into YouTube can actually see the video, but anybody outside of YouTube can't see it. Now there's a wall. Now it says you have to be 18 plus to see this video. Now, not once did I say anything bad in that video. All I'm sitting there saying is that Mental health is a serious thing. Is there possible foul play here? This woman, of course, allegedly did something very heinous to herself. Like I said, I now have to find code words to say what I'm trying to say here, right? The S word, if you will. So they went and they said, we are going to block this one from everybody unless they are members. And they're like, please be sure to check out your community guidelines and whatnot, right? And I'm like, okay, fine. I looked it up and I checked it out, and I'm like, man, okay. All I was trying to do was promote mental health and to talk about things if you are battling with depression. Well, guess what happens immediately after I get that email? I get another email right after. I mean, it's like not even seconds later. And the email basically says, are you okay? This is from YouTube. Are you okay? Because some of the content creators and some of the people, staff members of YouTube are concerned about you. Because I'm talking about someone doing something so heinous to themselves, they are suddenly saying, oh, now they're thinking that I want to do something heinous to myself. Yes, I've heard she unalived herself, right? She unalived herself. Okay? So they send me another email checking on my own mental health. Now, here it is. Let's keep it straight funky. I appreciate it. Trust me, I appreciate the concern, right? But not once did I say anything bad in the video in which that would even pertain to me wanting to do something so heinous, right? So, very, very interesting. So now I've learned that I can't talk about the poke or the Rona. I can't say the S word. Now I have to use unalived or unalive oneself, or say something like heinous or outrageous, devastating. But I can't say certain words, unfortunately. So I needed to let you guys know so that if I do open the video chat lines or anything of that sort, you guys are fully up to date on what you can and cannot say, unfortunately. It's not like I got hit with I didn't get hit with anything bad. It's just a video that was doing very, very well, performing incredibly well. And then suddenly out of nowhere, because I'm talking about the awareness of mental health, one battling with depression and how it can go into something as unaliving yourself. Now I just got to do code words, which sucks. So I just want to let you guys know about that. So before we go into this video or before we go into this article and the articles that we're going to be going through here, I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on, what I can and cannot say. Maybe some of you guys have come through, checked out the show and said, hey, what's up with this one? Now it has a age restriction. That's why. I have already sent out an appeal basically saying, hey, this is what's up. I didn't do anything wrong. I even pushed the hotline, the unalive hotline, over and over and over again. And yet they were thinking that I wanted to do something to myself, which is very interesting. Hail to the no. Okay. So just wanted to let you guys know about all that. And now you know the ground rules. So let's get into this, okay? Now, real quick, before we head into it, I want to say big thank you to A-Lady747. Wow, it's been a minute. Thank you so much. Been a long time since I've seen your face, your presence, but thank you so much for the $20 super chat. That really does mean a lot. I'll be there for your 50K celebration. Congrats, my dear. Thank you so much. Whole bunch of emojis. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. And when it does go down, there will be a celebration. There will be happiness and all of that good stuff. Also, I've been thinking about doing a thing where I go live and you guys get to cook. You get to cook with me. I've been thinking about that. I'm trying to set something up and have some fun. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But anyway, without further ado, we got to get into these stories, okay? Now, we already know about Miss USA 2019, Cheslie Kryst, who unalived herself by jumping off allegedly the 29th floor of a 60-story building. This is also the apartment building that she actually lived in. But she lived on the 9th floor. Now, I did say in the other video, was there foul play? And I still feel like there's some things that are little off, okay? Just a few things that are just a little off. Given the fact that, well, she lives on the 9th floor. She went to the 29th floor. That's where they last saw her. They're sitting here saying, interesting. We have not seen any footage. No footage has been leaked. We have not seen anything revolving around her in the last moments that they've seen her. Now, the thing is we live in a world where there are security cameras everywhere. Let me repeat that. Security cameras everywhere. So why hasn't there been any type of footage out here showing without a shadow of a doubt that she went up there on the 29th floor by her darn self? That's what I'd like to know. But I understand 5-0 likes to play things close to the chest, try to make sure that they have everything in line, because sometimes when you leak out certain information, they're like, we're looking for John Smith. Then suddenly John Smith just kicks rocks and goes out into the world, out here in these wilderness streets, aka Brian Laundrie. You feel me? So I get it that they want to hold things close to the chest before they put out certain information, right? Because there might be a person of interest. But still, to this day, nothing has come out yet, as of yet, revolving around the moment when she jumped or anything that led up to her before she jumped. That's the question. Those are the questions that a lot of us have. And like I said, still strange. I still feel like there's foul play. I know that there's other people out here that are going to have commented on the other video, which I do appreciate the comments, and I read a whole gang of them. All right. Some people are sitting here saying, hey, you know, they're taking it thinking that I'm downplaying depression. I'm not downplaying depression at all. I'm just saying the other factors that are around this particular case seem a little strange to you or to me. Don't you think? They're just a little strange. Okay. So let's continue. Now, obviously, the family has put out a statement basically saying something along the lines of, well, let me actually pull that up. They said in a statement before, they said, in devastation and great sorrow, we share the passing of our beloved Cheslie. Her great light was one that inspired others around the world with her beauty and strength. She cared, she loved, she laughed, and she shined. Cheslie embodied love and served others, whether through her work as an attorney fighting for social justice, as a Miss USA, and as a host on Extra, but most importantly, as a daughter, sister, friend, mentor, and colleague. We know her impact will live on. Okay, so there's that piece. And this is the statement that the family put out, obviously through somebody. And they put out that piece because obviously family's grieving, understandably. Okay. But now we have more information. But before we go into the information, I wanted to pull up an interview or statements that the father just recently put out. Now, this is an article that came out last night. And I felt like I wanted to pull this up. I wanted us to see this for ourselves, right? I wanted us to see this for ourselves. And Nikki, thank you so much for being a member for 11 months. I really do appreciate you. And hello, okay? Thank you so much. But devastated father, and this is what I said in the title because this is what he says, which is very interesting. So devastated father of former Miss USA, Cheslie Kryst, says she may have been depressed due to family dysfunction and did not use drugs or alcohol in first interview since she jumped from the New York apartment building. All right. So, devastated father of the former Miss USA, Cheslie Kryst, who jumped to her demise from a Manhattan high-rise Sunday, revealed that he believed she may have been depressed due to family dysfunction. I'm interested to see what this family dysfunction was. Okay. Rodney Kryst, the father, 62 years old, broke his silence Tuesday from his Charlotte, North Carolina home Tuesday and said his daughter was pure and that she didn't have any sort of substance abuse problem. She was pure. She didn't take any drugs or prescription medication, he told the New York Post. She never had any kind of substance abuse problems. So that's good to know. That's obviously good to know, right? And here they are together, real quick. Her father is white, and we made that abundantly clear on the last video, but her father is white and her mother is black. Okay. Kryst, 30, was found on the sidewalk next to her luxury apartment building, the Orion in Hell's Kitchen, at 7:15 a.m. on Sunday. She was last seen on the 29th floor terrace of the building where she lived alone in the 9th floor apartment, or in a 9th floor apartment. Now, that's the thing I'm saying over and over and over again, and I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the darn face. Okay? That part is weird. They say that she was last seen on the 29th floor, on the 29th floor terrace of the building. Again, where's the footage? Was she with anybody? Was she all by herself? Was she alone? And did she really jump from that area? Could she have jumped from somewhere else? They say she was last seen on the 29th floor, but she could have jumped somewhere else, y'all. She really could have. Maybe. You see what I'm saying? It's just like I said, where is the footage? Where's the footage, y'all? Okay? And welcome everybody who's starting to file in. Please be sure to hit that like button down below. Send those likes past 200-300 likes. That would really mean a lot. And also, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Crush it, crush it, crush it. That would really mean a lot. Okay? Robert Kryst and Cheslie's mother, April Simpkins, who have 4 children together, split up when she was young. This is what the father said. Okay? Kryst, who is a Polish-American former bodybuilder, said he believes her depression and demise had to do with family dysfunction. And this is the part that I don't understand. What is family dysfunction? Was there dysfunction could mean so many different things. There could have been a huge ass fight that was going on, in the family. The parents aren't together anymore, so maybe there's a rift. You see what I'm saying? Maybe the father's estranged from the kids. I don't know. But a family dysfunction? What's going on with this, y'all? Okay. Oh, and we are going to get to the note. I see Rob Profective saying, yep, there's a note. We're going to get into the note. Don't you worry. Sit nice and cozy. We're going to get into it. All right? So I'm wondering what is the function? What is the dysfunction in this family? Okay. But it'll be a while before we can talk more, he added. She was sad. This is her father saying this. So maybe there isn't any foul play. Maybe this is what she did to herself. Really? Could very well be. So in 2020, Cheslie Kryst posted a video on social media dedicated to her dad on Father's Day. She talked about how he introduced her to athletics and how he told endless stories about his bodybuilding days. She also talked about her stepfather and how both men in her life were inspirations. Today is a special day to show appreciation to all the fathers and father figures who have made our lives special, Kryst said in a video. My dad introduced me to athletics. He took my siblings and me to the track every weekend when we were young, when we didn't want to. And he told us endless stories of his bodybuilding days. And there he is right there with her as a beautiful little girl. and we're going to get into this video. We're going to look at this video in a little bit. But this is the family, right? Beautiful, blended, mixed family, right? And there's plenty of other photos and stuff like that. But yeah, it's terrible. Terrible. Monday, her grandfather, Gary Simpkins, told the Post he was stunned by the loss of such a fantastic, kind, and generous woman. To be extinguished so fast is just devastating, her grandfather said on Monday. So hard to imagine. 1 minute they're here and 1 minute they're not. And you know that the only way you'll ever see him again is when you yourself pass away. Kryst, who was one of 6 siblings, had recently traveled to South Carolina to spend the holiday with her mother, a former beauty queen, along with her brothers and sisters. Simpkins spoke fondly about his granddaughter, remembering her infectious laugh and her empathy towards others. She felt for other people. He told the New York Daily News. She tried to help other people. She was just one of those rare people that had a heart for people. Simpkins also described Kryst as a fantastic person who was kind and generous. She had a laugh that was infectious. I can still hear her echoing in my mind. I don't know, but I know that we'll get through this. We will. But right now, this is just devastating. Kryst's devastated family confirmed the news on Sunday. Obviously, from doing their statement that I read earlier on. But of course, this is the final photo that she put up on her Instagram page, which is still strange to me, right? She puts this up, and underneath that post, it says, "May this bring you rest and peace." This is her final photo, her final post on IG. And it says, "May this bring you rest and peace." What is that? And it's kind of it's in third person. It's in third person. So who had just saying, if there is, I have to speculate, if there is some sort of foul play, then who wrote this? May this day bring you rest and peace. Who brought that in? Mark Sensei, you ain't wrong. That could be someone bragging. I mean, like I said, this is still just speculating, right? This is speculation, y'all. I'm not sitting here saying this is the truth. I'm not sitting here saying this is 100%. This is just speculating, okay? This is conspiracy theorizing, okay? This is just me looking at this and just playing it out, because why would you say with a photo of yourself, may this day bring you rest and peace? What? So who got access to her phone and put that photo up, right? This is hours before she allegedly unalived herself. Just so you know. So still, for me, I'm like, this is strange, man. Just saying, okay? And of course, I already read the statement about them saying that she has a great light and that she has inspired others. But these are obviously all the photos of herself doing her thing, living her life, being a personality, being on that IG, she took care of herself. And of course, we're going to get into this essay, but let's just talk a little bit about this essay. So in a haunting essay, last March, just 10 months before she did what she did, Kryst talked about the fear that she was running out of time to matter. She wrote about being trolled online and how winning Miss USA at the age of 28 made her a target for ageist bullies. But many of her friends said on Monday they were stunned by her death and had no clue that she might be suffering from mental health issues. Publicly, she never shared any particular struggles with mental health. In 2019, she said that she often spoke with a counselor to keep her mind healthy, but there was no indication that she was in any form of distress. Police sources tell Daily Mail, which is the article I'm reading right now, she left a note on her computer, and this is what it said. The only person who really knows what happened went off that building. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. That's not what it says. I'm sorry. Correction. But this is from... Very good question. I don't know who... Oh, I guess it's from a police source. So the only person who knows what really happened went off that building. We're doing what we can to investigate what's left. Primarily, preliminary, it doesn't appear there's any criminality to it. The prevailing theory that it was a unalived moment, I guess, incident. No evidence has come forward that would change that theory at this point. But we're not ruling anything else out at this point, they said. Only hours before Kryst wrote her, this is only hours before she did this, where she posted this whole thing. All right. This whole "May this day bring you rest in peace," which, like I said, very strange to me. Very odd. Last March, she wrote a heartbreaking essay for Allure magazine where she described being mercilessly trolled online, and how turning 30 felt like a cold reminder she was running out of time to matter in society's eyes, which we are going to talk about here very shortly. Okay? This particular essay. But here it is, the photo, the moment where she is crowned Miss USA in 2019. She was 28 years old, and she was the oldest to ever win this, by the way. The oldest to ever win this. An Amazon woman, yes, I agree. It does sound like rest in peace. R.I.P., if you will. Right? May this day find you rest and peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Get it? So what's going on? That was posted hours before she allegedly took the leap. And like I said, we're conspiring and all that stuff, right? Seems a little strange to me. But before we continue, I see over 1,200 people watching the show right now. Thank you. So many souls watching this show, because so many people have been touched by this situation. And like I said before on many other streams and many other shows before, mental health is a real thing, regardless if we are sitting here talking about the possibility of foul play. I need to urge every single last one of you, if you are battling with this depression, if you are battling with any type of mental health and you are not talking to a friend or to a professional, please, literally, contact somebody. Reach out to your friends. And for those of y'all who ever have that moment where you're thinking, maybe my friend isn't happy right now, call them. Because sometimes that weird text that you get and you just kind of let it go and you just keep it moving, sometimes that is the text message where they're literally crying for help, where they're literally saying, please call me. Please, please, please call me, call me, call me. And I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. Whether this is foul play or not, mental health is a serious thing, and we need to start taking it seriously. At least let's start taking care of ourselves and taking care of the people that we love. Starting now, this year, 2022 is the time we start taking care of each other. Period. Okay? Reach out to those friends. Like I said, we got friends that send out those text messages, and we go, I'll get back to it. No, I'll get back to them eventually. No, if you haven't heard from them in a while, or if that text or that call seems a little strange, you call them back. You text them and say, hey, you okay? What's up, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they just need to talk. So I'm just saying that real quick before anything else. Please. And also do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. And please do not forget, please crush that subscribe button. Destroy it. Nuke it. Make it shake the very foundation of your private domicile. That would really, really mean a lot to me and to the rest of the fam. Okay? And welcome to the Pascal Show. So let's continue here. But I do think, I mean, of course, we're going to be looking into this letter that she left. This, first off, this essay, the letter. We've already talked about the letter. And the letter basically said, I leave everything to my mother. And that was it. And it was typed. It wasn't written. I'll show it again. It said it right here. Police sources tell the Daily Mail, which is the article that I'm reading right now as we speak, is saying she left her note on a computer. Wasn't handwritten, nothing. So it could be still, like I said, this is me speculating. This is still a possibility of somebody doing something real shady. Anyone can write on a computer. Dust them keyboards for prints. That's what I would say. Yeah, Tyler, that mug was typed, yo. Wasn't handwritten. Strange, right? I mean, not really. I mean, in the day and age that we live in now, but at the same time, like, what's up? What's up with that? Weird, yo. Weird. Okay? Written on a computer. So this walked into her apartment and just, the computer was on and there it was on her laptop or something like that. On a computer, y'all. Like I said, on a damn computer. It's very interesting, Queen. Absolutely, Queen Kimberly. It's very interesting to me. Like I said, still makes me feel like there's maybe a hint of foul play. The other piece I have to say, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again now. I said it earlier, but I'm going to repeat it. Where is the footage? Where's the video footage of her walking into her apartment building? Where's the footage of her going onto the elevator or walking out of her apartment on the 9th floor? Where's the footage of her walking to the elevator to press the up button to go up to the 29th floor? Where's the footage of her walking going onto the terrace, the community terrace, right? On the 29th floor? And where's the footage of her actually boom? You know what I'm saying? And let me say this too. Dusting the computer for prints won't do a damn thing either, because if somebody was really doing this and it was all premeditated, they would have worn gloves. So it wouldn't have done a damn thing. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, where's the footage? Where's the footage of her being there? Then they say she was last seen on the 29th floor. Was she somewhere else? And then what's up with the building, like the windows to the building? Can you open up the windows a crack or something like that? Because some New York buildings, you cannot open the windows at all. You might be able to roll it open a crack so you get some air, but that's about it, right? A lot of these buildings are very secure, so there's no way you could just jump out of a window. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, that is the piece that doesn't make sense. And then you say it was left, the letter was left on a computer. That's suspect as hell, y'all. At least to me, that's sus. That's sus as hell. Personally. Okay? So that's strange to me. Real talk. It's so frustrating. That's why I say this story seems a little fishy. But we're going to continue because, of course, people are devastated. You know what I mean? Oh, Billy Bush. Grab him by the Billy Bush. Get it? Grab him by the Billy Bush. You don't remember? Some of y'all remember. Anyway, just moving on. Billy Bush is devastated. A lot of people are devastated. A lot of people are coming out and talking about this and saying devastated. Devastated, right? And I understand that. Everybody is. Juanita, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. And Dory McNulty, whoa, did I? No, you lying. You straight lying. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Let me see if that's the truth. Bang! We made it. Wow. 50,000 subscribers, y'all. Keep hitting that subscribe button. Yes. Okay. There will be a celebration soon enough. Yes, guys. Yes. 50,000 subscribers. Oh, yes. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chats that are coming through. You have no idea how long it's taken to get to 50,000 subscribers. Holy cow. Hold up. I just need to, oh my God. Wow. Thank you, guys. Thank you. This is a long time coming, literally. Queen Kimberly, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. $20 super chat, I'm sorry. Yes. Wow. 50K. Wow. 50K, y'all. Thank you, Hollywood 2000. What's up, Hollywood? Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. And yes, I really do appreciate all y'all for coming in and showing the love. And for all the super chats, all of them. Thank you. I'm gonna try to show as many as I can. Blue True, hold up, Blue True. Thank you so much for the $5. Miss Pac-Man 1974. Thank you so much for the $5. Y'all are incredible. Thank you so much for your support. Literally, thank you. Oh man. Oh, it feels good. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you. You guys are incredible. Thank you. But keep hitting that subscribe button. Okay. Don't stop. Keep hitting, please. Okay. I'm here to tell the stories, talk about really serious conversations and or have real serious conversations and make people think. So I really do appreciate y'all for all y'all support. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much to Kita Shields for coming in and becoming a member. Thank you. But Juanita, thank you again for the $10. Thank you. I appreciate all the $3 super chat, the thrifting channel. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Thank you. Okay, I got to get back into this story. I'm so sorry, guys. I know y'all are here for that, not for this. And we will have a 50,000 subscriber celebration very, very soon. I will have it on a scheduled time. I promise you that, okay? And we will celebrate proper, okay? Popping champagne and having a grand old time. But this is a glorious stream today. Woo, baby. This was a long time. So thank you. But let's get into this. As I said, people are very devastated. A lot of people are devastated over this. A lot of people. Just like, man, I am absolutely shocked about this whole situation with this woman. Now, I understand some people feel some type of way about let's just keep it real. There's a lot of people out here that will feel some type of way about this, basically saying like, oh, just because she's pretty doesn't mean, or has everything going for her, doesn't mean that she's not battling some sort of depression, right? And yes, and I totally understand that. Everyone, there is no specific breakdown or face to what depression looks like. Some people hide it in plain sight. Some people just have big old smiles on their face and then they're really dying inside. A lot of people. Look at Robin Williams, for example. You know, somebody who was making people laugh, making people, moving people, and just being brilliant as a comedian. And then he does what he did to himself, right? And no one knew it was coming. But how much people hide that, right? How much people hide that. It says a lot. And Lady Justice, I did see that, and I promise you I will be doing a members only speak on it, like kind of hangout type of thing, just for the members, only for the members. So if you're not a member, definitely please hit that join button down below. It's not that much. It's $4.99 a month. It helps. It helps us. It helps us keep doing this show. Okay. Sensei, Quiet Guy, Mark, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it as well. So as we already know, this is what happened and what's going on. Why are we not getting all this information, right? We don't have everything yet. We don't have any footage. And it's funny because by this time, we would already have crazy amounts of information. We would already have crazy amounts of footage leaked. Somebody would have leaked this security footage. Why haven't we seen anything? So in a way, it feels like there is a little bit of foul play here. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people. I see Jamie say family dysfunction is can be a really can cause a lot of pain. And I do agree with that. Family dysfunction can cause a whole lot of pain. I'm with you 110% on that, right? But sometimes it's not that heavy. Sometimes it is hard to deal with, but you keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? I see a lot of people that are coming up and automatically assuming, if that's what it is, that's what it is. And I hate to be the person that's speculating a little bit, but when I don't see any other pieces of information like footage, or the letter is written on a computer screen, not handwritten, there's no proof of anything. It just seems strange to me. Because for a fact they would have, this article, this news website would have been putting out the footage of her at least on the 29th floor terrace, not jumping, but just her actually up there, showing her do her thing by herself. But where's the footage? Are they doctoring the footage? I hate to say that, but are they doing a cover-up? That's what I'd like to know. All right. Now, I got to go into this next part, okay? Because clearly, there's more to this that has come out before, okay? Now, in this particular article, it says vomit emojis and insults. Former Miss USA, Cheslie Kryst, shares details of online trolling before her demise. Okay? And like I said, the note is on a computer and everything goes to my mother, and that's it? I mean, I got my theories, but I have nothing to back it up. I just have theories. You see what I'm saying? Just theories. But let's move on into this article. We got like this half of this article, right? Excuse me. The former Miss North Carolina shared some of those details in an essay, because she says she spoke openly about her experiences with online trolling, online bullying, which she said was incessant. Which she says was incessant thanks to her public persona. So she said in an article, or she said in an essay published in Allure magazine, my challenge of the status quo certainly caught the attention of the trolls. And I can't tell you how many times I've deleted comments on social media pages that had vomit emojis and insults telling me I wasn't pretty enough to be Miss USA, or that my muscular build was actually a man body, she wrote. She also reflected on her milestone birthday in 2020 and how it was affecting her mental state. She had been the oldest person to win the Miss USA title in 2019. Though the essay ended on a hopeful note, it was full of despair. Now, this is how the article is reading this, or how the article's writing this. Okay, but it says right here. Let me blow this up a little bit more. It says right here. Each time I say I'm turning 30, I cringe a little. The extra alum wrote. Sometimes I can successfully mask this uncomfortable response with excitement. Other times, my enthusiasm feels hollow, like bad acting. Turning 30 feels like a cold reminder that I'm running out of time to matter in society's eyes, and it's infuriating. It sucks to think that for women to feel like there's some sort of shelf life, like they have some sort of shelf life with, obviously there's the biological clock ticking, there's just the beauty standards, right? That our society thrusts upon women on an everyday basis, right? To be young and sprightly and gorgeous and all this stuff, right? And of course, she's just talking about those frustrations, right? The constructs of beauty in this Western civilization that we live in, and how she has to abide by those rules and has to stay on that level all the time. And then all of a sudden, because she's hit 30, and by the way, she's hit 30 and she ain't got no kids. They automatically think, oh, well, then I have no worth. In certain spheres, I'm not going to go there, but in certain spheres, they'll say your value starts to diminish, right? And in my opinion, 30 is young. 30 means you got a whole lot of time. Still got a lot of time to be out there, do your thing, be beautiful and successful. Have your cake and eat it too. Have the children if you choose to have the children or not, right? Find a good man and all that stuff. Shoot, Kim Kardashian ain't she 40 or something like that? You know what I'm saying? She doing just fine. Popped out 4 kids. But I understand not all of us have that Kim Kardashian monies. But that still does not mean that you as a woman, by the time you hit 30, suddenly that you have no value or your value starts to diminish. I totally disagree with that. But let's continue on to this essay. She said, how do I shake society's unwavering norms when I'm facing the relentless tick of time? It's the age-old question. What happens when immovable meets unstoppable? She continued, I now enter year 30, searching for joy and purpose on my own terms. And that feels like my own sweet victory. The Miss USA winner was a lawyer, social justice advocate, and a supporter of Black Lives Matter. And that's what the Daily Mail reported. She had recently expressed frustration with her law career in general, sharing on TikTok that she no longer wanted to practice law due to constant microaggressions and lack of diversity. In a video posted 6 days ago, Kryst told a fan how she struggled to meet billable hours because she felt she was trading hours of my life in order to get paid. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And of course, there are people out here that will feel like, what's the purpose of what is life? You know what I'm saying? Everybody has that moment. Like, it's funny. I was just having a conversation with my mother just yesterday, and I know that feeling of like where you feel like you're going through the motions, just going through life, right? You go through, you wake up at 6, you do your stuff, blah, blah, blah. You're in bed by such and such time. Wake up, do it all over again, right? Or lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat. I understand that feeling of that the monotonous motions that we do in life sometimes, right? It can suck. We all have that feeling. We all question those things, right? We all have those feelings deep down inside. But it's a matter of being able to find light at the end of the tunnel, being able to talk to people, relying on your friends, the real friends, because there's sycophants out here. There are some people that are sycophantic as hell, right? But it's real easy to find your real ones, I would hope. And the brat says, yeah, the idea of maybe she was just feeling overworked. And it was the same old all the time. Those are definitely things to consider when it comes to just living life, right? The monotony of life can get overwhelming. Sometimes you do need to take a mental break, a little mental vacation. Even if it is a staycation, you in your crib, and you just sipping on some wine and reading a good book, or Netflixing and chilling, doing something doing something for yourself that makes you feel good, something that enriches your life. Me, myself, I always make sure for myself every day that I go and hit the gym. That is my way of, that's my therapy. That is my therapy session. When I go hit the gym, I'm good, right? I turn on the music, put it all full blast. I cut everybody out from the rest of the world, and I just put in the work. Exactly, Queen Kimberly. Self-care all the live long day. Mother-loving care. Absolutely. That's how it's supposed to be, right? Esther, I'm going to pull this up. That's a good question. And I got this video, the TikTok video, which I found very interesting. So I'm going to show that here very quickly. So stand by, guys. I promise you there's more. But Esther, do you think she felt the pressure from the Hollywood part of a job, to stay relevant and young? See, this is the thing. I think that there is a theory. Like, my theory is, I think a lot of people think that that's what they need to have, because that's what's already out there. That's the energy that's out there because of what we see on social media and what they put out out there in the ether. That's what I think. So we automatically assume that we have to be young, fresh, and beautiful all the time, instead of being like, you know what, I'm going to age gracefully, because it don't crack. I'm going to enjoy my life, and I'm going to take care of me. And if there's some things that do pop up that fit me, cool, I'm going to do it. But I also do realize that I am getting older, and that is what it is. And I'm going to embrace that, and I'm going to let it be what it is. You feel me? But I think that because there's already this thing that, like I said, society pushes. Yes, Hollywood has already established that it's gotten even worse, by the way. And I'll get into that here in a second. But I think that it's interesting that she automatically thinks that in her head that, oh my God, I'm turning 30. I'm old. I'm a strong believer in, you're only as old as you feel. Age ain't nothing but a number. I know he's canceled, but that's a good phrase. Such a bad phrase at the same damn time when you think about it at the same damn time. My bad. But you know what I'm saying. It's just a number. And you're only as old as you feel. And if you constantly think, I'm old, guess what? You're going to be old, baby. You're going to be old as dirt. I'd rather feel like I'm 21 until I die, but a responsible 21. Let me just say that really quick. A responsible 21, okay? But we put out here that we got to be fresh, young, and we got to be young and beautiful and all that stuff. And it's like, no, Come on, man. Enjoy the process of being old, of getting old. It's a beautiful process when you're doing it right and when you're taking care of yourself. Just saying. Now, I do think that she did live in a world where she felt pressured, I'm sure, to be young all the time. And maybe that's what pushed her to this point. Maybe, and maybe not. And maybe she was pushed physically. Like I said, the math ain't mathing with me on this one. The math still ain't mathing with me on this one. So there is that. There is that. And it sucks. And also, I'll say this too. When it comes to Hollywood, if you've noticed, man, there was a time like in the 90s, there were movies like Grumpy Old Men that were box office hits. People were going in droves to see Grumpy Old Men. I'm not kidding you. There were movies like Grumpy Old Men 2. What's the other one with the Jack Nicholson thing with the Holly Hunter and Greg Kinnear? As good as it gets. You know what I'm saying? Big movies. Oscar-nominated movies. People went out of their way to see these movies. Now, those movies don't exist. Now you're just seeing like, Avengers or some comic book movie. All of it is young. They're all young kids. They're all young cats. And all the movies where it's the older heads, the old actors and stuff like that. Like if it's a Jack Nicholson type of vehicle, no one's going to see it. It might do okay, but it'll do better on streaming. So it'll go straight to streaming. And it'll be another one like As Good As It Gets. Like, there it goes. It'll be called that. You know what I mean? There it goes. Fly Me to the Moon. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. So Hollywood is pushing that. They only want Hollywood isn't a war. Man, I had a friend of mine who told me, yo, man, the fellas can be, can get into Hollywood and they can be in the movies until they're, as long as they know how to play it right. You can be a Ian McClellan or a Patrick. Why am I forgetting his name? Jean-Luc Picard, right? Okay, you can do that forever, but girls, man, as soon as you hit 18, you need to be out there. Shoot, even before that, you need to get out there. That's what they say a lot. Real talk. It's all about youth with girls. So Patrick Stewart, thank you, Snack Panther. Okay, thank you. But that's really what it is. They'll put out all this kind of stuff and say, then these girls are thinking this. Got to be young all the time. And then they go, oh, wait. By the time they hit, maybe when she hit 30, she goes, wait, did I miss my chance? Did I miss my turn? That could have gone through her head. Very well. Very much could be. Now, I want to show you guys this TikTok. Apparently, there's a TikTok that she had that somebody put it up and said, to know this one of Cheslie Kryst last videos is heartbreaking. I'm hurt right now by her passing. To know she was fighting silently, to know she wore a mask so well to the end. Mental health does not discriminate, and I agree. It's so hard. I pray she's no longer in pain. And this is the video. This is the TikTok video that they're talking about right here. Let's take a watch.
There are a lot of reasons I don't want to practice law anymore, but here are 3. Number 1, I just really like what I do now. I'm a correspondent and TV host. I work on Extra, and so I get to interview really interesting people all the time. Like just in the last few weeks, some of the people I interviewed were Denzel Washington, Mariah Carey, and Alicia Keys, and they were all so nice. I was a correspondent at Miss Universe in December and in May. I do speaking engagements. And so part of it is just I really love the stuff that I do now. My second reason is billable hours are trash. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If y'all really want to know about billable hours, just let me know and I'll make a separate video. But it's a lot and it's a big reason. My third reason is just the general lack of diversity in the legal profession and the constant microaggressions because of it. Now, that can be said about a lot of different industries, but for some reason, it just felt worse in the legal profession. For example, I remember once walking into a deposition, which is basically just like a formal interview of a person. So I'm a lawyer interviewing somebody on the record. And the court reporter was sitting in the room when I walked in. I think she was the only one there. And I walk in and sit down. She's like, "Do you know when the lawyers are getting here?"
Those things were real though, y'all. That something like this, man, do I have stories for y'all. Woo! I got stories for y'all. But yeah, I've seen things like this.
Well, I'm here, so the lawyers are here. And I think what made me the most upset about that last instance was like I walk into this room with my suit on and this giant bag full of documents that I then start taking out of my bag so I can ask the person I'm deposing about this information. I'm like, what client or layperson who walks into a deposition with all this stuff? They walk in with themselves and Jesus. That's it. And it's not just me with these experiences. Like if you look up Brian Stevenson, who was the lawyer that Michael B. Jordan played in that movie, Just Mercy, Brian Stevenson, he had the same thing, or he had a similar thing happen to him where he walked into a courtroom and a judge was like, "Sir, you don't need to be sitting at counsel table without your lawyer." And he's like, "Your Honor, I'm the lawyer, sir. Thank you."
She ain't lying though. I'm gonna say that. She is not lying. Wow. That is the microaggressions is real though. And I can see if you're somebody who is battling with depression, battling with mental health, sometimes those microaggressions can add up and weigh your soul down. As much as people sit here, and I'm not, and obviously I'm not trying to sit here and go, oh, playing the tiniest violin, playing the world's saddest song just for you, but it's hard out here being Black sometimes. It's hard out here being a Black professional sometimes. And when you go out and you're trying to do your thing, I mean, that's only a small example of the BS she's probably had to deal with since day one. The amount of racism and the amount of, microaggressions that she was dealing with, even just going into Miss USA, is beyond, I'm sure. The stresses and the judgment that she probably has gone through just for being mixed. Let's just say that too. Let's not forget that. She has a white father and a Black mother. Imagine the type of BS she's had to deal with just even as a kid growing up. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough, y'all. So what she just said right here, she ain't wrong. And then, of course, when you get to that certain level of being Miss USA, you get to this certain level of to a certain honor, I guess, right? To a certain accolade. Then you have to live that, right? You have to be perfect all the time because now everyone knows you as Miss USA 2019, right? Oh, she was Miss USA. Did you know she was Miss USA? She's Miss USA. So the pressure of being perfect, flawless, even in this video, you know what I'm saying? Her face is beat to the gods, as y'all would say. Beat to the gods, right? Flawless, right? I don't think she's ever on camera on TikTok or whatever without her face beat, without her makeup done, right? The pressures of just being on point, right? Can weigh on somebody's heart, can weigh on somebody's soul. And then, of course, everything else, you know, that it's tough out here, y'all. It can be tough out here. I feel for her on this. I really do. I feel for her on this. Now, if this is truly 110% her doing what she did, allegedly, then I pray, like she said, like the post said earlier, you know, I pray that she has found peace now. I pray that she has found a time to you know, I hope her soul's at rest, regardless. And if it is something else, if there is something else that went down on some real ish, then I hope we find justice for her. If foul play, if there was foul play. But before I wrap up and before I go, I have to say the National Prevention Lifeline. I can't say the S word, but you know what I'm saying. If ever you feel like you can't talk to anyone and you need to just talk to somebody, you just need a listening ear, please, they are open 24/7. Please call this number 1-800-273-8255. Again, this number is 1-800-273-8255. And like I said, I can only imagine what the family's feeling, how they're feeling right now. It's terrible. It's terrible what happened to her. And hopefully we will get down to the bottom of what actually happened to her. If we actually see some footage of what actually happened before the incident, I think that would calm a lot of people down, because then there would be the truth, right? And I'm still waiting for that. I don't know why they're waiting. I don't know why they've been dragging they feet on this, but I think that would help a lot of people find closure on this particular story. But depression does not discriminate, like that post just said, and I totally agree. Depression does not discriminate. So please, if you are battling with anything, please talk to your friends or call that number, okay? There's somebody out there that would be more than happy to hear you out. And trust me, if you made that phone call, if you make that decision to make that phone call, I've said it a million times, but you will most definitely thank yourself later. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I want to say a big thank you to all y'all for being on. Yeah, Shaniqua, I will be discussing about that here as well. Like I said, there's so many stories that are just filing out, and I'm just trying to do my best to cover every single last one as quickly as I can. All right. So I will be talking about that Kendrick Johnson case. Trust me, I will. We will be talking about it. There's also a missing boy, 4-year-old boy case that's going on right now. So I'm going to be talking about that here as well. So there's going to be a gang of stuff coming out in the next 48 hours. Like I said, there's so much going on, and I'm trying to catch up or I'm trying to stay up to date as much as I can on all that stuff. So, we still even have information about the Jamaican immigrant that was shot, that was hunted and killed. So like I said, there's a lot going on. And hopefully I can get Kendrick Johnson's mother back on the show to talk about them closing this case, which I think is BS in my personal opinion. But we will get into a conversation about that very, very soon. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being on. I have to say this before you guys go. Please send those likes all the way up. Send them past 1,000 likes. That would really mean a lot. Before you head off, send those likes past 1,000. Just hit that like button before you go. Hit it. And of course, do not forget to crush that subscribe button. We have officially gone past 50 50,000 subscribers. We have broke the threshold. And I have to say, I have to applaud to you guys. Thank you. Without you guys doing that, none of this be possible. I appreciate every single last one of y'all. But I'm going to say this in another show on another scheduled stream. Trust and believe we will be talking about and celebrating this 50,000 subscriber mark. This is huge for me. Okay. This was years in the making. And I'm happy that I found you guys. So those of you guys who just recently subscribed, welcome to the Pascal Show. Welcome to the circus. And I look forward to sharing more stories with you guys. It's an honor. It really is. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. I'm getting emotional. I appreciate all y'all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys soon. Stay blessed, everybody. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight.
I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else so we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.